Salah, Mo Salah, Mo Salah, running down the wing. Salah, la, 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 the Egyptian king. What's going on, Liverpool fans? It's Ahmet back again with another video. A great victory against Watford, and Salah. What can you say about this man? Outstanding footballer. So many goals, so many assists. I mean, the man, you can't keep him quiet. You know, apart from the Manchester United game where he was really, starved of service. I'd say he didn't have the service anyway. And the United fans are saying apparently Ashley Young, had him in his pocket for the entire game when really he wasn't in the game. Salah, he wasn't actually. Our players didn't actually give him the service to actually do anything in the game. So, and they saw what kind of player he was yesterday against Watford on Saturday. What a performance! 4 goals and an assist. This man just keeps getting better and better. Is there anything else that he can do? Is there anything left that he hasn't done, that he hasn't achieved? I mean, apart from actually winning the Champions League, if he can take Liverpool on to win the Champions League, what a season! So many goals and so many assists. And if he's able to win us the Champions League, my words, he has to be the best player in the world. Forget about Messi and Ronaldo and all these other players. Messi's done it over a longer period of time, but for Salah to come into the Premier League, after so many years away since he left Chelsea, and then to come back into the Premier League with Liverpool and to score so many goals in this team is just outstanding, absolutely out of this world. Any Liverpool fan that is still finding faults with Mohamed Salah is just deluded. They don't understand the game of football. If you still think that he's not a good player, if you're still waiting for him to to make mistakes or to not score goals, then you don't understand the game of football, mate. I'm sorry, but you cannot criticise this man. There's nothing to criticise. There's nothing to criticise in Liverpool as well at the moment. We're going very well, very well. And the victory against Watford, just before the upcoming international friendlies, the international break, has just put us into great confidence going into this break now. And when we come back on the 31st, we should be in high spirits against Crystal Palace. It's going to be a very tough game. I'm not saying that it's going to be a walkover. But if Manchester United, a team like Manchester United, come back from 2-0 down and beat them at Selhurst Park, then if Liverpool are firing on all cylinders, then we should have a field day against Palace. Defensively, they're not a very good team. Maybe going forward they've got good players in midfield. They've got the likes of Zaha and who else have they got? They've got Townsend and a few others. But yeah, I mean, the Watford game was pretty straightforward. I was thinking it was going to be more of a tough game for Liverpool. It was going to be a bit of a slog because usually if teams come to Anfield and they defend, then it takes us a bit of time to get into the game and a bit of we need a goal from somewhere to open up the game. And Salah, just unbelievable. The first goal where he's just tricking the Watford defenders. They don't know how to handle him. And he ends up putting Britos on his arse, who's trying to figure out what Salah's going to do. Is he going to strike it early? Is he going to take another touch? And then he goes past him. He goes past the defender and just puts it into the corner, beneath the goalkeeper. And it's 1-0 after 4 minutes. And that just relaxed Liverpool, that goal, the early goal, because these kind of games you need to score early, no matter who you're playing. But the lower sides in the league, the mid-table teams, you need to get the goal early at home, especially. And when you do that, you more often than not, you end up winning the game. And we won it very convincingly. Of course, it was down to Salah's extraordinary performance. But Mane had a good game. He set up a goal for Salah, and he set up 2, didn't he? He set up the other one as well in the second half, the 4th goal for Salah, where he gave him the ball in the area, and he somehow managed to lead them a merry dance, the Watford defenders, and put it into the corner of the net past the outstanding Karnazis, the Greek goalkeeper. He saved them on many occasions. It would have been 10-0, 9 or 10-0 if it wasn't for that goalkeeper. I'm telling you now, it would easily have been 9 or 10-0. And well, five will do me because we get the 3 points. It's all about the points now. Going towards the end of the season now, the end of the Premier League season, and we want to finish in the top 3 or 4, the top 3 or 2, because the title has gone to City now. They've won it, and it's between us and Manchester United now and Tottenham for that coveted second spot in the league. And I think Liverpool have got the momentum. Even if Man United, beat us last week, they were fortunate in that game. The first half they deserved to be 2 goals up. Second half we got it back to 2-1, albeit with an own goal, but we applied the pressure. We put them under pressure, and they cracked under the pressure. And if the referee had given that penalty in the final, 10 minutes, the foul that Fellaini done on Mane in the area, it would have been 2-2. And then United would have probably thrown it away. We would have beaten them in the final minutes and even taken the 3 points. But yeah, it is what it is. These kind of things happen in football. We lost the game, but not to worry. I mean, on Saturday we won, and we won at a canter. 5-0, could have been 10-0, as I said before. And we've got Salah, we've got Salah, we've got Mane, and we've got Firmino. Outstanding footballers, all 3 of them. On their day, they can rip any team in Europe, any team in the Premier League, and they've done it on many occasions this season. Apart from the disappointing draws we've had, the couple of 7 or 8 draws we've had in the league, we've been virtually unplayable at times, Liverpool, and we've only lost, I think, 4 games in 31 league games. We've only lost 4 times, so that shows you how much Liverpool have improved as a team compared to last season. And last season, until the new year, we were leaders of the league. Can you imagine that? And then that terrible 6 weeks we had after January, going into February, that really derailed our title push, our title challenge. And because Chelsea were unbelievable, after they started the season badly, but they picked it up and they won something like, I think, 13 games in a row, 13, 14 games in a row. And that helped them win the championship, that helped them win the title. But we had a good season last year as well. Apart from the 6 weeks where we didn't turn up, from January until mid-February, we were very good last season as well. And we finished the season strongly as well. After that terrible 6 weeks, we finished the season very well. Won many games. Maybe didn't play brilliant football, but we got over the line. We managed to get the victories. Places like Stoke and West Brom, where we usually don't turn up, and we end up throwing the game away. And we went there and we won both the games. And yeah, it was brilliant, and we got into the top 4. And this season, we're still in the Champions League. And now we're playing Manchester City in the quarterfinals. That's a mouth-watering match. It really is. I mean, to just imagine, to think what kind of match it will be, is just unbelievable. It could be so many goals in the games, City against Liverpool. Could be so many goals. They could score, we could score. But I think we've tightened up in defence. I really do. I think, Virgil van Dijk has brought a calmness, has brought a leadership to our defending. And with the form of Karius as well recently, who seems to have gotten over his shaky, period in goal, he seems to be becoming a better goalkeeper now. He seems to be becoming a more confident goalkeeper. And that can only stand him in good stead, and Liverpool in good stead, for the final couple of months of the season. And we're not scared of any team in Europe. I mean, Liverpool should not be frightened of City. We should just go out there, play our game, and look to attack City, look to finish them off, because City, their main aim this season is to win the Premier League, and if they do anything in the Champions League, it's a bonus for them. And they've already won the Premier League. We don't even need to wait for the final months. They've won it now. You can give them the trophy now. So by the time they face Liverpool, they will be in a bit of a relaxed mood, which could go either way for Liverpool. Could be good, and it could be very bad for Liverpool, depending on how many players they still have at that stage of the season. If they don't pick up any injuries, I think they were saying something about Sergio Aguero is injured. He's not going to be able to play in the Liverpool games. So that's a very big bonus for Liverpool. Now we need to pray over this international break, 2 weeks, that none of our players come back injured as well, because we really need them now. We really need them for the quarterfinal of the Champions League and for the final couple of months of the season. You know, the Premier League season, to just keep the tempo going, keep the victories coming, keep picking up 3 points, and finish as high up in the league as we can. You know, in the top 3 or 2 of the league. That will be a very good season for us again in the Premier League. It's not ideal, you know. We as Liverpool fans, we always demand to win the Premier League, the league. I'm not happy being second or third, but it is what it is. What it is this season. No one's been close to Manchester City. You know, United have been second most of the season, and even they have given up now. You know, they can't come back. They can't do anything to City. They can't catch them. You know, so it's just been one of those seasons where one team has just pulled away and they've won the league early, and the others have just been playing catch up. So all we can do is congratulate Manchester City on their title winning team, and we look to knock them out now in the Champions League. If we can knock them out, get into the semis, and then it's anyone's game. You know, you've only got 2 games until the final. Anything can happen. Liverpool can win this trophy, as I said before. You know, I wasn't confident before in January when we sold Coutinho. I became a bit of a nervous wreck, you know, because as all Liverpool fans became, because it was just I don't know, it was the wrong decision in my opinion, selling one of your best players in mid-season when you could have holded on to him until the end of the season and then sold him. And we got Virgil van Dijk in as, you know, defensive cover to help us in the defensive part of the pitch, and he's done brilliantly since he's come into the team. You know, we've kept something like, I think, 7 clean sheets now in 9 games since he's been in the defence. Even if he's got Lovren next to him or Matip, it doesn't matter. We're still looking much better, much stronger, much more organised, and we read the game better now. We play as a unit. You know, the players are used to each other now. They're starting to gel with each other. This is what I was saying before about Klopp. You know, he kept changing and chopping the team every match, and this is why we picked up so many draws before the new year, because he kept changing the team from the Champions League matches to the league games. We always had different players in the 11, and there's only so many games you can go through before it starts to affect you as a team. You know, you need consistency. You need players to gel. You need a system whereby everyone knows their role on the pitch, what they need to do in the 90 minutes. And now we've got that at Liverpool. We're a settled team now. We know how to play on the pitch. We know what we need to do against certain opposition, and we go out there and we perform. We pick up the 3 points, and this is a great system to have for Liverpool now. You know, going into the final games. And even into next season, if we can finish this season strongly, that momentum will take us into next season. And if we can get the lead at the beginning of next season, take the lead in the Premier League, I think we can win the title next year, definitely, with these players, with this team. And a couple of more additions, you know, maybe a new goalkeeper and a defensive midfielder, attacking midfielder, maybe a striker. If we can get a striker, we've got a good goal scoring team anyway, but if we can get an out and out goal scorer, you know, the likes of Salah's done it this year, but you know, next year I think teams will play, they will defend against him better. They will try and keep him out of the game as much as possible. So we need a new dimension. We need somebody in the penalty area that can put the chances away. You know, Danny Ings could have done the job, but Danny Ings has only come back from injury recently. And, you know, he's been out for 2 years virtually since Klopp's come into the club. You saw what he can do against Watford. You know, he had 2 good shots that the keeper saved. He was unlucky, but we need somebody that is clinical, that can kill the game in the vital moment. He can score the goals, because it's all well and good that Salah was there to finish off the chances, but if he wasn't, you know, that's 2 goals down the drain. 2 goals would never have happened. You know, and Yeah, we need a good striker. I mean, I'm thinking Timo Werner, the Leipzig striker, but they're not going to sell him to us because we've already taken Keita off them, Naby Keita. So I don't think Leipzig are not that stupid that they're going to sell us their main goal scorer as well, their main striker. So we need somebody else in that department. Midfield, I'd say bring in Jorginho, the player that plays for Napoli, the midfielder, the Brazilian. He's another outstanding talent. He's in the mould of Coutinho, kind of similar player to Coutinho. Maybe he's not as talented scoring goals, but he can set the play up. He can deliver good passes. He's a fast player, young player. He's got all the attributes to be a good midfielder. He really has in the Premier League. And as I said before, if we can bring in another goalkeeper, a world class goalkeeper, that you can definitely bank on not making any mistakes in the goal. Now I'm all for giving Karius another chance. Give him until the end of this season, see what happens. But in my thinking, there's always a mistake in him. He's similar to Mignolet. Mignolet also had another purple patch towards the end of last season where we were winning, games at the end of the season. But what he's done, the previous 2 or 3 years cannot be swept under the carpet because he had, 5 or 10 good games. We need a goalkeeper who is consistent, who can consistently save Liverpool, can pull off good saves and help us to win games. We can't keep relying on, is he gonna be good? Is he gonna get his confidence back? This is not the right way to go about it. We need a goalkeeper who's confident in himself, who makes good saves at the vital moments, and wins you games or gets you a draw from a game, where you're not playing well. So we need a goalkeeper, as I said before, a central midfielder, attacking midfielder, and a defensive. Well, that's going to be Naby Keita, of course, when he comes in. So we need an attacking midfielder, the like of Jorginho, I'm thinking. Or, if we can bring in a Pulisic, or if we can bring in a Julian Draxler, I think was being linked with Liverpool. Apparently, last couple of days, there's been news on Julian Draxler, the German winger, who's at PSG at the moment. And if Klopp can get him into Liverpool, my words, what a team we'll have then. The attacking capability of that team with the likes of Mane, Salah and Firmino, and you've got Draxler and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, charging down the wings, getting balls into the area. My words, we'll be scoring many goals, even more than this season, I'm thinking. But as I said before, I think next year teams will be clued on about Salah, and they will do their best to keep him quiet during the games. They will probably get 2 players to mark him, 3 players to mark him, and just keep him quiet because he's such a dangerous player. If you give him space and time, he'll kill you. Like he did against Watford. Watford just didn't know how to handle him. Even with 3 defenders, he still got away from them and scored the goals. The fourth goal as the example of that, where he led them a merry dance. He led them sort of out of the penalty area, and then with a quick change of direction, he turns back into the penalty area and just slots it past the goalkeeper, and they couldn't handle him. They didn't know what to do, how to stop him, and yeah, it's brilliant having this kind of player, at Liverpool. We've missed this kind of player, the likes of Luis Suarez or a Torres, Owen, Fowler, out and out goal scorers, and also skillful players. Suarez was an outstanding player, quality player, because he could just one moment of magic and he gets the goal, and Liverpool win the game. It's the same with Salah. Salah's doing exactly the same as what Suarez was doing at Liverpool. The kind of goals he was scoring. I think he's flying now, Salah. His confidence is sky high. He's in the air at the moment. He's on cloud 9, So we need to keep him happy, and we need to offer him a new contract come the summer, because all the big teams in Europe will be after him. Don't have any doubts about that. And for the love of God, FSG, if you think about this club, you're the owners of this club, you need to make sure that you keep him here at Liverpool. Do not start coming out and saying that you're willing to sell, because if you do that, there's going to be a riot at Liverpool. I'm telling you. If you go behind the backs of the Liverpool fans again, and you try and sell Mohamed Salah, to Spain, to Real Madrid or somebody, then you're going to be kicked out of this club. I'm telling you now. So do not make this mistake now. Keep him there, add a couple of players, and next season Liverpool can challenge for the Premier League title. Definitely. We could have even done it this year, but because City have been so good, they haven't dropped any points. This is why they've opened up the gap now, at the top. Doesn't mean that Liverpool's a bad team. Liverpool have played brilliantly still, And if it weren't for the 8 or 9 draws we've had, we would have been much closer to City. But it's gone now. The season's over, so we need to pray now that our players come back fit and healthy from the international teams, and then we go into the Palace game. But the main game now is the Manchester City game, the Champions League quarter-final. We need to make sure that we get a healthy lead over City to take into the second leg at the Etihad. If we can do them, 2-0, 3-0 or 3-1, we should get into the semis. I have no doubts about that, because when they know that they're behind to Liverpool at the Etihad, they will have to attack us. And when they attack us, they play openly. We've got the players to kill them, We've got the players to destroy them, as we did at Anfield, where we smashed them in the space of, 10, 11 minutes. We made it 4-1. And if we'd carried on with the same tempo, it would have been 5 or 6. Forget about the final 10 minutes, where some pundits and some, media articles are trying to say Liverpool's defensive frailties. It's nothing to do with that. It's just that we relaxed after the 4-1. If we had carried on with the same tempo, the same intensity, we would have scored more goals against City, and it would have been an embarrassing defeat for them, a big defeat. 6 or 7 it could have been. And we still beat them. We're the only team that has beaten them this season in the league. And there's no reason to suggest that we can't do it in the Champions League. We need to make sure that we take the first leg seriously at Anfield. Don't try and play all this safe football. Just attack them from the first whistle. Go at them, because they're going to be in relaxed mood. I'm thinking that they'll have the Championship wrapped up by then, City. And it's because their mind is going to be a bit on that, winning the title, we can just go after them and, slot them away. Finish the chances, get the goals, a goal or goals or whatever it is, and then go into the second leg a week later in great confidence, in a good mood. Because we know we can do stuff at their ground as well. We can score goals at the Etihad. We've done it in the past. Only a couple of seasons ago we beat them there 4-1. And they were league leaders at the time when Klopp came into the club, I think it was about a month after Klopp came in as manager at Liverpool. We went to the Etihad and absolutely annihilated them. In the space of 30 minutes, we were already 3-0 up. And they were at the top of the league at the time. So if we can do it with that team, imagine what we can do with this team. We've already scored 4 against them this year at Anfield. We can easily get another 2 or 3 again at Anfield against them. Go into the second leg and just play it calmly, but take your chances, be clinical. We don't need to go out attacking at the Etihad. If we've got a lead to take into the second leg, they're the ones who have to come onto us and try and attack us and score goals. So we will wait for the right moment and then just pick them off, finish them off, And we go into the semis, and from there it's anyone's trophy, It's anyone's European Cup, really. I'm not scared of any of them. I'm not scared of Real Madrid, of Barcelona, of Bayern Munich. When you're in the semis, you're touching distance away from the trophy. So you need to be right up for it as a team, as a club, And with the special European nights at Anfield, what we've produced in the past, we can win this trophy, definitely. There's nothing suggesting that we can't do it. If we can do it in 2005, coming back from 3-0 to beat Milan, a team like AC Milan, who were the best team in Europe by a country mile in 2005, we were not even seen as a team that was able to get out of the group stage, let alone to get to the final in 2005. And we came within a whisker of being knocked out. If Gerrard didn't score that outstanding goal against Olympiacos in the 92nd minute, we would have been knocked out in the group stage. And 2005 would have never happened, us winning the Champions League. It would have never happened. So, that team had limitations. But the passion that they showed, the pride, and the way they wanted to come back and win the game, to win that trophy for the fans, for the city of Liverpool, was outstanding. and it goes down in history as one of the most the unbelievable Champions League final, European Cup final that has ever happened in the European Cup's history. So yeah, we move on to the international break now. It's a bit of a bummer because we have to sit around now for 2 weeks and wait for the matches. You've got all these stupid friendly matches that don't mean anything, where countries are going to be kicking lumps out of each other. Hopefully, I pray to God that we don't pick up any injuries, but there's always likely to be a couple of niggles, because we've got so many international players going away to their respective countries all over the world. We're going to be very fortunate if we don't pick up any injuries. We need to make sure that we monitor our players and see what happens. But we can't do anything. It's down to the international managers. If they wish to play the players, then they will play the players. You can't really say anything as a club, So yeah, all we can do now is hope and wait until the 31st, and then we go into the Palace game, which is going to be an early match, 12:30 p.m. kickoff at Selhurst Park. And Palace had a good result against Huddersfield, but that was an easy game for them. Huddersfield are looking very bad at the moment. They're looking like they're going to go down. They're going to get relegated, and Palace went there and got a result. They won the game. But against us, it's not going to be easy. They're going to be under massive pressure to perform against Liverpool at their own ground, and we can go there and get a result, and then go into the City game. And that's the main game. I don't even care about the league anymore because we can't achieve anything. We can only finish in the top three or two, or at the lowest fourth. I don't think we'll drop below fourth because Chelsea are now 7 points behind us, and they won yesterday in the cup, but they're still not playing great football. Chelsea, I don't see them overturning the 7 points with 7 games to go. It's not going to be easy for Chelsea. And we can do it. We can definitely finish in the top 4. But we need to set our sights onto the automatic Champions League positions, either second or third. And that will be a good finish to the season, the Premier League season. But we can definitely win this European Cup. That's what I'm talking about, FSG next year, we want you to spend money in the summer. Don't come out with any excuses now. You've had your warnings over the years. You've seen how good this team is now this season, so you need to help Klopp, and Klopp needs to demand from them 2 or 3 more players in the summer, which will push Liverpool on to be title challengers, which will push Liverpool on to be successful in every competition, in the cup competitions, because it's very disappointing to see that we've been knocked out to West Bromwich Albion in the FA Cup. We could have got all the way to the final. Watching the games yesterday and on Saturday, the standard of football in the cup has been very poor. The way teams have played has been very poor, and Liverpool could have blown all these teams away and got all the way to the final of the FA Cup and even won the trophy. And to see teams like Manchester United and Tottenham and Chelsea in the semis now, even Southampton, who are doing terribly in the Premier League, they're nearly getting relegated and they're in the semis now of the FA Cup, going up against Chelsea, which they'll probably lose. I think they'll lose that one, but you never know. It's the FA Cup. Anything can happen. Team like Wigan won it 3 or 4 years ago. Wigan Athletic won the FA Cup, beating Manchester City in the final. So anything's possible. Anything's possible in the cup competitions. Anyway, we have to wait until next season now for the cup competitions again. We now have to just concentrate on the Champions League, make it a priority, prioritise the Champions League and give it everything, because we can win it. I'm telling you, if we get past City, this is our trophy. We've got our name on it now. This is going to be number 6 for Liverpool, number 6, the sixth European Cup that we're going to win. It's written in the stars. I'm telling you, we're so close to it now. Just go out there, dispatch City, get into the semis, and we'll see what happens after that, And I've talked about the transfers already. There's nothing to talk about the 5-0, Watford game, because it was just Mohamed Salah. You can't really say anything else. Salah running down the wing, the Egyptian king, And he did it on his own, basically, against Watford. He won the game on his own. Of course, Mane and Firmino played their parts. And what a goal from Bobby Firmino! The back heel where he's not even watching the ball, and he somehow gets it past the goalkeeper. Unbelievable finish from Firmino to even try that. To even think that he can score a goal like that. The man is just so creative. He's got such belief in his quality that he can do those kind of things. And he's scored so many quality goals this year and last year. He's a brilliant player. He reminds me of Coutinho at times. Coutinho would score quality goals, but since Coutinho's left the club, Firmino has really come on another level. Since January, he's playing outstandingly, brilliantly in all the games, and he's really pushing Liverpool on to win games in Europe and in the Premier League. So this is only a good thing for Liverpool, and yeah, that's about it, Liverpool fans. Thank you for watching the video. Subscribe and like the channel, the video. Make your comments in the comment section below. Tell me your thoughts on the rest of the season, what we can achieve. The kind of players that we can maybe bring in the summer. Hopefully if FSG actually have any ambition, if they actually want Liverpool to win something, then they will see what we've done this season and buy the players that we need to go into the next couple of years. And it could be a very good period of time for Liverpool, a very successful period of time for Liverpool, winning trophies, winning the Premier League, for the first time. It's long overdue. I mean, despite us being successful in Europe, I always have this sad feeling about the Premier League, the fact that we haven't been able to win it. We should have won it by now, 27 years. And we've just allowed ourselves to be dragged into the mire, basically, dragged into mediocrity. And we've fallen away from the other teams, the big teams in the league, who have overtaken us. And they've splashed the money and they've bought good players. And they've picked up the trophies, So Klopp, despite him being a good manager, he's proving everyone wrong. He is a good manager. Tactically, he's become better this season, being able to beat the defensive teams, the anti-football playing teams, apart from Manchester United, which was a one-off at Old Trafford. We allowed them to get into the lead, and that's very dangerous against these kind of teams. If it had gone 0-0, I'm sure that Liverpool would have found a way to get past them and win the game, even at Old Trafford. So, yeah, I mean, it's always disappointing to see that we haven't won a Premier League title. We've won 18 league championships up until 1990, and then the following 27 years we haven't been able to win it. So this is always a target for Liverpool. This is always on our to-do list. We need to win it to get that how do you say, that ghost out of our system, that unluckiness basically, that we haven't been able to win the title since 1990. Get that monkey off our backs, as people say, And once we win it one time, for the first time, we can win it many times after that. I'm feeling we will have the confidence, we will have the ability to go on and win it even more in the following seasons. As what Manchester City are doing now. They hadn't won anything for many years, for 50 years, I think, 50, 60 years. And now, in the 2000s, the 2010 onwards, they've been winning it regularly now. I think this is going to be their 4th Premier League title, or 5th, since 2010. So you see what it can do to a club, winning it once. And yeah, hopefully we have a great finish to the season. If we can pick up the European Cup in May, what a season that would be. To see those celebrations, to see Klopp running around the pitch with the European Cup in his hands. What a success that will be for Liverpool and the players, the likes of Salah, Mane and Firmino who have played brilliantly this season. Maybe not Mane. Mane's not been as deadly as he was last season, but he's still set up goals, he's still scored goals. But compared to last season, he's nowhere near the quality that he had last season. He's not as fast as he was as well, because sometimes you see him, he gets the ball on the left side or the right side, and he doesn't take players on as he used to. Last season he would have just flashed past those players and then get across into the area, and we would have scored from it. But this year he seems a bit tentative. Maybe he's thinking about the upcoming World Cup. I'm not sure, but he seems to be pulling away a little bit. He's not giving it 100%. But he's still doing well, you know. And because we've got Salah, who scored all these goals, and we've got Firmino, who's playing out of his skin this year. And I wanted to talk about the midfield, you know, Henderson and Wijnaldum against Watford. The amount of sideways passes and backwards passes they played was just ridiculous, you know. Henderson should be having more confidence, you know. The man is supposed to be the captain of Liverpool Football Club. And against Watford, he looked like he was playing for the first time in the team. He gave the ball away so many times to Watford. You know, we're fortunate that they weren't able to do anything. But on a couple of occasions in the first half, he nearly ended up giving them a chance to score twice, I think, where he gave the ball away in midfield with his silly passes, his stupid sideways passes. You know, you're supposed to be the captain of Liverpool Football Club, Henderson. Come on, man. Move on, you know, move on or move out of the club, basically. Leave, because you're not good enough anymore. I'm telling you, he's not good enough to play for Liverpool. Milner is much better than Henderson. Milner has got more skill than Henderson, and he gives more, how do you say, he's got more commitment for the cause. Henderson is just, he doesn't believe in himself anymore. And Wijnaldum is even worse. You know, he gets the ball and he's turning around in a circle, thinking what he's going to do with it. Just pass it to someone, for God's sake. You hold on to the ball for too long, Genie. You know, this is the Premier League. This isn't the Italian League or the Spanish League. You haven't got time in this league to hold on to the ball. You need to pass it quickly. And then we move on to another attack. But, yeah, they were disappointing, you know. Both Henderson and Wijnaldum were very disappointing against Watford. You know, Salah was unbelievable, but Wijnaldum and Henderson didn't play well at all. And I see some Liverpool fans on the internet, on the YouTube video, saying that they played well. I'm sorry, but you must have watched another game, because they didn't play well at all. They gave the ball away too many times. You know, if you do that against Manchester City or against Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, you're going to be finished. You're going to be put to the sword. So we can't afford that, you know. We need to play, I think we need to play Milner, and we need to play Oxlade-Chamberlain along with Jan, because Henderson and Wijnaldum, in my opinion, are not playing well this season. They don't have one outstanding performance that we can think of this season that they've played well in. So I feel that Milner is playing better, and also Oxlade-Chamberlain is more direct. You know, he's capable of getting into the opposition part of the field and then springing the team onto attack. You know, playing forward passes to the likes of Mane, to the likes of Salah and Firmino, and we can get a goal, you know. But Henderson and Wijnaldum are not able to do this. They spend most of their time in the centre of midfield, and even then, they're not looking to give the ball forward. They're just playing it sideways, playing it safely, keeping possession. You need to also help the team onto attack, so we can cause the opposition trouble. You know, we can score goals. Holding onto the ball doesn't mean anything. We did it last season in games where we lost. You know, we had something like, I think, 78% against Hull City, where we lost the game 2-0, which was ridiculous. And I think it was against Swansea at Anfield, where we lost the game 3-2. And it was the same there. We had something like 80%, 85% possession, because most of the passes were just sideways and backwards. And we didn't actually do anything with the ball. We didn't create anything. And that's why we lost the game in the end. You have to be clinical in the Premier League. There's no point in keeping the ball. When you get the ball in the central midfield area, you need to be looking onto the wings. You need to be looking onto the players in front of you. The players behind Salah, you know, the likes of Mane, or looking forward to Firmino, giving the ball to him. So he switches it to either wing, and then we crosses into the area, or we cause trouble in the opposition penalty area, you know. Football is not about possession anymore. Football is about being clinical, about scoring your chances and winning games, you know. So we definitely need two more midfielders, I feel, in the summer. One or two midfielders. Keita's already coming in, and we need another attacking midfielder, the like of Jorginho, who plays for Napoli. He looks like a very good prospect, you know. And if Klopp can get Julian Draxler onto the wing, my words, what a team we'll have then, you know. This is a team built to win the Premier League. This is a team built to do even better in the Champions League next year. So we wait and see, and we pray, you know, that we get these players in. If they actually splash the cash, they're actually willing to pay the money and the wages, and we get these players in. And then you see what Liverpool can do next season. So anyway, Liverpool fans, nice to speak to you again. Nice to talk to you about the games and the upcoming months. We're very excited, you know. All Liverpool fans are very excited. We want to win this European Cup, hopefully, and get number 6 in the cabinet, you know, and then shut the Manx up and shut Chelsea up, you know, Tottenham up, and then you'll see Liverpool flying next season. If we win the European Cup this year, next season the confidence and the morale from winning this cup we'll be doing even better things next year. I'm telling you, even more success, even more victories. You know, we'll be scoring even more goals because they'll be bouncing. You know, the players will be on top of the moon after winning the European Cup. Just imagine the scenes that they will witness. Just imagine the celebrations and the confidence that it will give to them. You know. Yeah, and we believe in Klopp. We trust in Klopp. You know, sometimes I tend to criticise him because he didn't change the way he played football, you know. He didn't change his systems, his tactics. But now he seems to have gotten over that stubbornness, that naivety in his management, game management. And Liverpool are winning games that they should be winning. And they're winning games comfortably, you know, 5 or 6 now. 4 or 5, you know. So it's looking very good, Liverpool fans. And have a good, you know, break. Keep yourselves occupied, you know, because we haven't got any matches to watch. So we'll have to watch the friendly matches, you know, the England matches or the whatever your national team is, whatever national team that you follow, you know. I'm Turkish, Turkish Cypriot, so I follow the Turkey national team. And we play the Republic of Ireland, and then we play Montenegro, I think. So I'll be looking out for that. But of course, I think about Liverpool every day, you know, every minute. Every second I think about Liverpool. I just want to see Liverpool being successful. I want to see Liverpool going back to the glory days, you know, winning trophies regularly and making us happy, you know, making us proud to support this great club. This one of the biggest clubs in the world, you know, so to make us feel that pride again, that passion again. And I think that Klopp can do it, you know, either this season, the end of this season, by winning the Champions League, or next season, with a couple of more additions to this squad. And Liverpool will be favourites, one of the favourites to win the Premier League. I have no doubt about it, you know. So anyway, Liverpool fans, take care of yourselves. Have a good international break, and I'll probably make another video before we play Crystal Palace again, a preview video to talk about that game. And that's it really. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy your 2 weeks off from the Premier League, and we'll talk again. Take care.